Hi everyone, I want to share with you a little bit about my testimony. As a young boy, I grew up in a Christian home, and I remember having very clear experiences with Jesus Christ. I remember as a young boy suffering from nightmares and going to the kitchen one day and asking my mom to pray with me and never having a nightmare after that again. But as I grew into my teenage years, I felt that Christianity and where I was in my life was unattainable. I felt that the bar was too high. I knew what God wanted me to live, but I couldn't get there. So at the age of 14, 13, I went into the world and went into many dark things in the world. And quite honest, I went far from God. But I always knew that God had a plan for my life. I remember when I was living in sin and my friends were in sin and doing the same things as they would do, but somewhere they were free to do them and somewhere I was not free to do them because I knew that God had a plan for me. But at the age of 18, something happened. My parents loved the Lord, but somewhere their marriage was a mess. They were nearly divorced. And they were very legalistic towards each other. And somewhere there was no fruit of Jesus in their marriage. And what happened is they came to a church that preaches the message of the cross. And when they heard that message, it confronted their lives. It changed their lives. It changed them personally. And I started to see their marriage restored. I started to see them fall in love with each other again. And when I was in the world, I used to look at this and think, Jesus is real. Something is happening here. And so I was intrigued. I was drawn. I used to go to the church that they attended, and I could feel something was different. There was a love of Jesus. There was the power of Jesus. And so being in the world and being quite fine in the world, I thought I was okay. I would just attend church now and then. And sometimes I had emotional experiences at church by going to the front, but I would go back to my sin and my lifestyle. But one day I went to church with my girlfriend at that time, and I don't even remember what was shared. But I remember going to the front, and whenever I think of that experience, there's one word that comes to my heart, and that is, I was undone. I saw my sin, I saw my need of Jesus, I saw my state, and I was broken by his love for me. And from that day, I cried for many days and many things happened in my life because the Lord had touched me and I had been born again of the Spirit. And I want to encourage those who are listening that God has a plan for our lives. And he has a day for each one of us to meet with him in a powerful way that we will never be the same again. And after that day, Jesus set me free of so many things that as a teenager I tried to be free of. But it was impossible for me to be free through the law. I needed the things of the Spirit. I needed the grace of God to come to my life. And I needed to see my need for him. And from that day, I can honestly say that I've been so grateful and served the Lord for many years and never want to go back to those years that I was in deep sin and far from God. So, God has something for each one of us.